Okay, let's dive right into this. We're not going to cram more facts or memorize another formula today. Nope. Instead, we are going to unlock one single, super powerful skill that can totally change how you feel about taking tests. I mean, starting with the very next one you take. You know that feeling, right? You flip the page, you see this giant wall of text, and your brain just kind of short circuits. It's like this thick fog just rolls in, and you can't see anything clearly. You start trying to read, but the words just swim around. When that happens, seriously, just stop. Take one deep breath. It actually helps. But that frustration, that's what we're going to get rid of today. So here's a little secret. Tests aren't just about what you've memorized. They're also kind of about how you play the game. They're secretly checking to see how you handle the questions themselves, how you manage that pressure, and how you sort through all the information they throw at you. Okay, so if it's a game, what's the #1 mistake pretty much everyone makes? Let's talk about the biggest, most common trap that people fall into. It's a habit that wastes so much time and makes tests feel way, way harder than they need to be. Does this look familiar? I mean, be honest. We've all done this. You just dive straight into the reading, trying to soak up every single little detail. And then by the time you finally get to the question, you've forgotten half of what you just read, and you have to go all the way back to the start. It's this awful cycle that just burns through the clock and really kicks up the panic. Now, there's actually a reason this method doesn't work. Reading a whole passage without knowing what you're supposed to be looking for, well, it's like walking into a grocery store with no shopping list. You just wander around, you grab a bunch of stuff you don't really need, and you totally forget the one thing you came for. And here's the thing. This reveals a little secret about how tests are made. They are designed to be tricky. Test makers will intentionally throw in extra facts and details that have absolutely nothing to do with the question, just to see if you can spot what's important and filter out all the noise. So, how do you beat the noise? Simple. You give your brain a mission. Think of yourself like a detective. You wouldn't just start randomly searching a crime scene, right? No, you look for clues first. It's the same idea. Reading with a purpose means you know exactly what you're hunting for before you even read the first sentence of the passage. And let me tell you, the payoff for this is huge. When your brain has a clear task, it's like having a superpower. You stay focused, you stop rushing, and you quit falling for those tricky answers that sound right, but are actually totally wrong. And maybe best of all, you take back control of your time. So, how do you get this superpower? It all comes down to one simple, game-changing skill. And this isn't just for reading passages in English class. This works for math word problems, science charts, history documents, you name it. That's it. This is the big aha moment. Before you read a single word of a long passage, before you even look at a confusing graph, you read the question first. It's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. And just look at how this flips that old, frustrating process completely on its head. Instead of wandering around lost, you start with the question. You pull out the key words. And then you go into the passage with a mission. You're not guessing anymore, you're actively hunting for the answer. Now, the real magic here is learning to spot those tiny little keywords. They're like little tricksters hidden in the questions, and they can completely change what's being asked. So let's unmask a few of them. First up, the word best. Okay, when you see this, the test isn't just asking for any old right answer. It's asking for the most right answer. There might be a few options that seem okay, but only one is the strongest, the most complete, the best. Ah, this one, the classic trick. The word not is like the villain of the story. It completely flips the entire question upside down. All of a sudden, you're looking for the one thing that's false, or the one thing that doesn't belong. If you miss this word, you're almost guaranteed to fall into the trap. Except is another one of those flipper words. It's basically playing a game of one of these things is not like the others. It's asking you to find the outlier, the one option that doesn't fit in with the rest. And then we've got least. This one's asking you to find the weakest choice, the least important detail, the least likely reason. Again, a few answers might seem plausible, but your job is to find the one that's the least relevant of all. And this slide just nails the whole point. Look at these two questions side by side. The only difference is that tiny three-letter word, not. But it totally changes your mission. One small word literally changes everything. So what does this all mean? Now that you know the secret of keywords, it means you're shifting from just reacting to whatever the test throws at you to actively controlling it. You're not a victim of the clock or some confusing passage anymore. You're in charge now. And remember, we're just talking about one new skill here. That's it. This isn't about studying harder. It's about working smarter.
It is one small change that gives you a massive advantage and a huge boost of confidence.
And that's really the main takeaway here. This whole strategy is about putting you back in the driver's seat. You get to decide how to approach the test, not the other way around. You take control. So, the only question left is, are you ready to use this skill to go outsmart your next test? You are? Go get 'em. You've got this.